Howdy, kids. I'm recording this video to talk about just sort of some behind-the-scenes stuff of how this channel works, because it might answer some questions. I'm also new to this pretty stream of consciousness, so forgive me if I kind of ramble, because I'm probably not going to edit this very much at all. But I'm also recording this from where we actually currently record the channel. This comfy couch here, this is my mic, this is my spot. Usually this is where the guest sits and Steve the Weirdo sits over there. I'm not going to show you the wires because it's just embarrassing, but very, very high-tech setup here where you can see it's like there's a laptop connected to, we got an Elgato, a RetroTink, and it's all just jumbles of wires on the floor, because that's just how we do things. The reason why I am recording this is just because we see a lot of comments. I'm just going to address some comments of like, hey, why don't you guys do this thing? Why don't you guys fix this or do that? Which I think a lot of people don't understand is that this channel is recorded months in advance. Like, we have recorded so many episodes because that's just how you have to do it to keep doing an episode every single day. So a lot of people get the impression that, oh, they like played the game that day and uploaded it that day. No, that is not feasible. I think it just shows that people don't really understand how much you have to do to do something like this. I'm not saying it's like a gargantuan amount of work or anything, but it's not that simple. So for us, usually our regular recording schedule is we record at least once a week, and we do about 8 episodes-ish in a sitting. That is usually about 4 hours, but sometimes if it's like a really juicy game or a narrative-driven game, or Steve stares at a scale for 6 hours, sometimes it goes really long. We've done some long recordings, and there are some that haven't come out yet that have been like crazy long. Sometimes we, start recording at like 8 p.m. on a Friday, and we are done at like 3 or 4 a.m. And this is something that we choose to do. This isn't me trying to be like, oh, poor us. We're suffering. No, we enjoy doing it. It does really give the vibes of like, we're just hanging out on the couches playing video games, and that's really, the sort of vibes I want to, convey to you guys, that we're really just having fun. But it also means that, yes, if you see us mess up in a game and we do something wrong, and you're like, guys, come on, please do, and I'm like, we recorded that. I try to be coy about how much time, how far we are ahead, because it also keeps changing, because the more we record, the wider that gap gets. But I'll be like, yeah, we recorded that like 3 months ago. I'm sorry. We beat that game already. There's nothing. And sometimes we'll see a comment where we're like, oh, shit. They're complaining about this thing. They're going to love the next 15 episodes. Now, I mean, on a rare occasion, if the playthrough is long enough or there's enough of a time gap, sometimes we can fix something. Like in Paper Mario 1, Jay kept skipping the dialogue too fast, and I saw the comments and I was totally right. I was vindicated. And so you'll notice, I think it's around Shiver City, where I'm like, Jay, we need to read all the dialogue. And I think there's a notable change. But these days that's rarer and rarer because we just have so many episodes in the bank. Now, I wanted to address some specific comments I've been seeing. I don't want people to like go after people that said this or anything like that. So I'll keep it vague. But there's stuff about the Walking Dead playthrough, which BTW is gonna come back. We already recorded that a long time ago. It's done. It's just the reason why this one, what I usually try to do with, if I know we're going to have a break, is at the end of an episode, I'll usually say, hey, we're going to take a break for a bit. However, because for the Marie Walking Dead playthrough, It was an unexpected, oh, she's unavailable. Because normally I would say something if I was like, hey, we're going to stop at the middle of episode 4. But for this specific instance, it just was unexpected. And then it was like, oh, well, we're not going to be able to record with her for like 3 weeks. So, well, we'll just record some stuff in... And also my brother came into town. Those episodes are coming out right now. So I was like, okay, well, we'll just record those. And so some people go, well, why don't you just, I don't know, make it so that the Walking Dead episodes go right after, and then you just move the other episodes, which I think, you know, for some channels do this. For us, it is a conscious decision to upload the episodes in the order we record them. That's just something that we like to do. This is not like, oh, we didn't think about that. Like I know that is an option. I'm not stupid. But for us, I think because we often will call back to previous sessions we've recorded or reference other games we've already, you know, recorded, especially Steve, he does it all the time, but I do it too. So it just would be way too confusing because one, if we mention a game that isn't out yet, it's like, oh, well, we got to edit that or something, and it'll just make us get too much into our own heads about it. Of like, oh, are those episodes out yet? Or especially like since these are recorded so like far in advance that sometimes we just don't remember what was said in some episodes. So just for one, it's just easier to record them or to post them in the order that they are uploaded. But also, I just prefer it that way. Like I just like, I don't know, I think it's a kind of an interesting, cool record of like my past. I think a lot of people go, oh man, like why do you record so much in advance? It means that the topics you talk about aren't topical anymore. And for me, it's like an interesting, almost like time capsule of like, oh wow, yeah, like 4 months ago, that was happening. It's just interesting for me. So for me, it's a conscious decision and I've wanted to just keep it that way where you just watch them in the exact order that they came out, even if it's to our detriment, even if people get annoyed by it. My entire career online, I have just done things my way to my own detriment, because that's just how I want to do things. Another one was, I don't know, do a hiatus, and until she can record again. And again, like Steve and I are very busy people. Like we have full-time careers. We have very active, like, social lives outside of our careers as well. So we only have a certain days and windows that we can record. So if we took a hiatus for like the 3 weeks, not to mention just ignoring my brother who wanted to be on the channel anyway, but like 3 weeks, that's like a month's worth of episodes gone. And the reason why we record 8 episodes is because we will have an extra episode for every 7. Because if we just did 7 a week, that's exhausting. Because if you get sick or if you're busy, you get stressed. But if you do 8 episodes, at least 8 episodes a session, those start to bank up. And you have a little buffer of like, okay, if one of us is sick or one of us has to go out of town, we're okay. And you would think, oh, you don't need like months and months of episodes in the bank. You would be surprised. Sometimes with my schedule and or Steve's schedule, sometimes it's like, oh, we can't record for like a month because we're both so busy. So we have to depend on this buffer, which if we don't keep it going, and again, we are happy to do it. This isn't us suffering. But if we don't keep that buffer up, then we will just run out of episodes, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's something that we are able to maintain, and we'd like to maintain it, that we have an episode every day. It's not something, it's not grueling for us. Don't worry, like, oh, poor Sungwon and Steve. Like, it's totally doable for us, at least at the time. And if it ever got to a point where it wasn't feasible for us, we would just change the schedule. But yeah, I think as far as doing a hiatus, no, we do hiatuses, like especially like holiday times, or you know, again, if we're busy, we often take breaks, but then we have to do usually extra sessions to make up for it, usually beforehand. So sometimes we'll do like 2 sessions a week. That, or if a guest comes on and we have them for only like a limited window of time, we will have to do like concentrated batches of recording, like maybe like, I don't know. Anyway, now I'm getting into the nitty gritty, but the sort of comment I saw where it was like, well, that's very amateurish of you. You've been doing this for so long. How amateurish? This is an amateur production. We are not professionals. We don't do this for a living. I'm not sure if we even want to do it for a living. We just really like doing it. It's just really fun for us. And yes, if we were a professional, you know, this was our job, maybe we'd take it more seriously. Oh, maybe we should do more relevant games, or we should, you know, reorder things or whatever. But one, we don't have to worry about that because this isn't our jobs. And two, you know, I'd probably still do things my own annoying, stubborn way, even if this were our jobs anyway. So yeah, I guess thanks for listening to my TED Talk, if you watched all of this. But yeah, I guess just I'll end off by saying, you know, I do appreciate everyone watching. We got some really good stuff coming. I know this because we have so much in the bank. It's kind of wild. But we got some really good stuff. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy the channel. Peace.